Today's lecture is on Taoism. Now, I know there's a big T on here, but it's pronounced D, Taoism. Now, this is Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu is the father of Taoism, and he was born about 640 years before Christ. Now, you don't have to know any of this, but he was Chinese, and he looked around and he was really sad about the way people acted, and so he decided to leave and get away from people. And he was on his way to Tibet when a gatekeeper convinced him to record his beliefs. And he wrote all these beliefs down, and supposedly this became the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching is like the Bible for Taoism. So this little book, which I love this book, roughly translates into the way and its power. So I'm going to talk about the way today. Now, speaking of the way, I love this quote from Lao Tzu. If you do not change direction, you may end up where you are heading. Are you heading the right way? Wake up! You're going the wrong way, Tim. Okay. So the Tao, like I said, it can translate into the path. Another translation is the great ultimate, which I really like because sometimes God gets a little whatever, has a connotation to it. But the great ultimate, the universe, the cosmos, the summation of everything. So another interpretation, which you don't have to focus in on, is the womb from which all life springs, but that's like Asia, H-A-A, and Hinduism. But I focus in on this one, the energy that binds everything together and drives everything. Because I kind of think of God as energy. He's not matter, he's energy, E equals MC squared, infinitely dispersed across the universe. Okay, so this is a little quote I have from Taoism or the Tao Te Ching. There is a being wonderful, perfect. It existed before heaven and earth. It goes on and on and on. But it says, I do not know its name, and so I call it Tao and rejoice in its power. I really don't know God's name. It's this kind of mysterious force that binds everything together. Speaking of which, I'm fixing to show a movie clip from one of my favorite movies that describes the Tao in more detail.
I can't. It's too big.
Size matters not. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you? And where you should not. For my ally is the Force. And a powerful ally it is. Life creates it. Makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us and binds us. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. You must feel the force around you. Here, between you, me, the tree, the rock, everywhere. Yes, even between the land and the ship.
Okay, I hope you like that. I love that. I wish we were in class because I would go off on the force because the force is the Tao. When Yoda is describing how it like flows through everything, that's the idea behind Taoism. And so the energy lives in every single thing Yoda is saying. And this idea is really pantheism. Pan, all, theism, theos, God. All is God or God is everything. This is why I'm really into Native American theology because God lives in every single thing. I don't know. I've tripped way too many times, so I'm a big pantheist. We'll get back to this in a little bit. But if I even go to the Gospel of St. Thomas, which is one of the Gospels that they found, I don't know if you believe, in this scripture or not, but Jesus says, I am the light that is over all things. But then he goes on to say this weird thing. If you split a piece of wood, I am there. Lift up the stone and you will find me there. I'm in everything. So it's this pantheistic idea of Christ consciousness. I wish we could get into it more detail. There's this guy in New Mexico, Richard Rohr. He talks about Christ consciousness existing in all things, flowers, dirt, sky, whatever. Okay, so in the Gospel of St. Thomas, I love this part. It says, Jesus said, if those who lead you say unto you, behold, the kingdom is in heaven, then the birds of heaven are before you. If they say it's in the sea, then the fish are before you. But the kingdom of heaven is within you and not outside of you. So if you don't know this, he's saying that you're poor. And so he goes on to say, if I can get all this writing on here, that people ask, on what day will the kingdom of heaven come? And Jesus says, it cometh not with observation. They will not say, lo here or lo there, but the kingdom of the Father is spread out upon the earth, and men do not see it. It's already here. That's why, like, when I talk to Father Andre, or if you get into, like, Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, that's why tripping works. You know what I mean? You're just right there. Heaven is right here. It's accessible right now, but you just can't get there. We'll get back into this when I talk about Alan Watts. Okay, so let's get back on to Taoism. Qi. Qi is this energy that runs through me. There's an energy that runs through the whole universe, but a part of it runs through me. And so this vital energy that flows through me, this life force, is my spiritual energy. So that's why I'm always talking about Qi. Is my energy good today? How's my Qi? Do I have angry Qi, happy Qi? What kind of energy do I got going on? And so this energy of the Tao that's running through my body is just a little drop of the energy in the whole ocean. But when my energy is right, I'm right. I've rolled too many times. I've been to way too many rays. I didn't think myself into that. My energy got right. Then my thoughts got right. This is my problem with psychiatry or psychology sometimes. They're trying to make you think yourself into like feeling good. But a lot of times when your body gets right, then your mind will follow. Okay, it's backwards. But anyway, I'm in the chakras. There's 7 of them. We'll come back to this later. You don't have to remember this for the test. But later on, I'll ask you about these. But it goes from root to crown. And so your energy can get stuck in certain chakras, or it can get stuck in certain meridians throughout your body. So the Chinese tried to perfect like cleaning your qi or maximizing, I should say, making it efficient. And so one of the ways that they try to control energy is through meditation. And you just think about meditation, yoga, these practices that involve breathing, they bring you into these calm levels. Calm your qi down. There's other ways to do it, like Tai Chi. It has qi right in the title. The katas, the way you move and stuff like that. Or the use of medicinal herbs, so Chinese medicine has been around for a long time, naturopathic medicines. I do acupuncture every single week. I never believed in it, but then I went to Big Pharma and took all these drugs and none of them worked. And my friend goes, go to the acupuncturist. And it's like, dang, I haven't had arm pain in a long time. So whatever. But they believe in these meridians and these rivers, let's say, of energy can get stuck at certain parts of your body. Now, you don't have to believe in all this different stuff, but some of the meridians are yin and some are yang, and we'll get into yin and yang, dominant versus passive meridians. Okay, enough about all that stuff. Now, this might be one of the best concepts of everything besides Qi and Taoism. I know I say that about everything. It's Wu Wei. Wu Wei in Chinese, I don't know if you can read this, literally means non-doing. Doesn't mean you don't do anything, but it means really you're efficient. You don't struggle at what you're doing. You do it most efficiently with the least amount of effort. And so we kind of get out of the way and let the power of the universe flow through us. Now, I have this person doing Tai Chi down here, but I think of skiing. Now, I've been skiing for a long time, and I can do blacks, and I like doing blues a lot. But I can do blacks some, but I struggle a lot. And then I look over, and there's a 70-year-old person just like whipping down the hill, just like it's just so easy. Same other area that this comes into play is rock climbing. I look at my friends that are really good at it, and they just go right up and they make all these like subtle little manipulations and moves. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, and it's like I'm struggling, so I'm not efficient at it. But people that are really good, especially at sports a lot of time, can make these subtle changes and use the least amount of effort to get the job done. It's called grace. Okay, so anyway, I love this idea of the Wu Wei. Now, Lao Tzu has this quote, to the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. Be still and know that I am God. If you're still, things come to you. When you chase, they don't. That's why I really like Taoism. It has all these neat little pearls of wisdom. Okay, so are you a person that lets things happen, lets things unfold, or try to make things happen? I wish we were in class. Because one of the people that I talk about that likes to let things happen is Mr. Forrest Gump. And another person that didn't like that tries to make things happen, if I can get my eraser on here, is Lieutenant Dan down here. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I hope you do. Because Forrest is the feather in the wind, and he just kind of lets everything come to him. And if he does this, he becomes a runner, and does that, he catches shrimp, and does this, he plays ping pong, whatever. He just kind of goes with the flow. The Wu Wei. He is the Wu Wei, Forrest Gump. Lieutenant Dan's the opposite. He's like me. He's like fighting everything. He's like, fuck this. I got to make it work out. It's going to work out exactly the way I want it. And he's going to just fit a square peg in a round hole. He's not going to let things happen and unfold in a graceful way until the end of the movie. Okay. Now, Lao Tzu has this other quote, in the world there is nothing more submissive and weak than water, yet for attacking that which is hard and strong, nothing can surpass it. Well, I love this thing right here, the Grand Canyon. Water created it. So something that seems pliable and weak and yielding can have a lot of strength. And so I have one more quote I think on here about this. At birth, a person is soft and yielding. At death, stiff and hard. All beings, the grass, the trees, alive, soft and yielding. Dead, stiff and hard. Therefore, people that are rigid are friends to death. The soft and yielding are friends of life. So you should be adaptable, flexible. I always think about the storms that come around, and you'll see certain trees blow over, but the grass never breaks in a storm. And the Palo Verdes do pretty good. You know why? Because they're designed to like sway back and forth. Palm trees, supposedly, Joel Osteen has this thing, can get bent all the way over and it looks like they've broken, but after the storm come up, because they're soft and yielding and designed like that. They're the only trees that don't break in the storm. So I have to think about this, Tim, when I think about my life. Am I being soft and yielding or hard and inflexible? Okay, this is the last section as far as Taoism goes. What I really wanted to focus on is the interplay between these two forces that I've been mentioning all along. So there's these two forces within Taoism, yin and yang. So yin are more submissive forces, where yang is more dominant forces within the universe. Typically, yin has been associated with the female. That's not Tim saying it, it's Taoism, and yang with the male. Doesn't have to be male versus female. It could be hot versus cold, light versus dark. Now, if I added up all these forces in the universe, all the yin forces right here, submissive forces, and all the yang forces right here, I would get the Tao, which is the whole thing. Most people don't know the whole thing is called the Tao. They just go the yin-yang symbol. So within the yin-yang symbol, the Tao, there are four parts. We talked about these already. Yin, submissive or feminine. Yang, dominant or masculine. But then there's those dots. So this dot right here is called anima, ends in an A. Something ends in an A, like Nina is a little girl versus Nino is a little boy. So it's the feminine bit of a man. Even though I try to be 100% butch, I might have a little femininity left over. I have a lot of femininity. My anima is really big. Okay, so animus, this right here is the masculine bit of a woman. Even though you try to be 100% feminine, you might have a little bit of butchness. Now, I'm sorry that I'm using a gender analogy. Let's use another analogy. Let's say I go out tonight, it's pitch black outside, I look up, there's a little bit of light in the sky. It's called the moon. A bit of light within the dark. This is why I love Taoism. If I go back to the Tao Te Ching, it says if I define some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. Some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. So one of the things I have a problem with is defining things as good or bad. Taoism doesn't like this. There's no good or bad, there just is. I don't want to go into the is right now, but there just is. Okay, things I define as bad usually end up being the things that are good. Like my last breakup led me back to the church. I don't know. Or I grew up in that dysfunctional family, and if I hadn't grown up there, I wouldn't have been so fucked in the head that I had to go get a PhD in psychology and then become a teacher and be talking to you right now. So that bad thing ended up being something good. Okay, so our real blessings, according to Joseph Addison, come in the shape of pains, losses, and disappointments. Oh no, I wish I didn't have that in my life. I don't want to ruin this right now, but later on I'll talk about the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. I don't know if you've seen this movie. Okay, so if I think of some things as bad, like a forest fire, oh my God, this is bad. As long as man didn't set it, what the forest fire does is Mother Earth needs to clean out all the underbrush so that there can be regrowth over here. So without the fire, you wouldn't get the regrowth. I don't want to go all Christian right now, but we're right at Easter. Without Good Friday, which today is Good Friday, you don't get a fucking Easter Sunday. And so you have to have Good Friday. There ain't fucking anything good about Friday. It's like you're up there on the hill, like, it's doom and gloom. But then a few days later, you get risen, you get Easter Sunday, and so that's that regrowth. I just like the symbolism behind that. So a lot of the bad things that are going to happen to you during life actually are going to lead to these different rebirths. So the last thing I want to show you today is this quote from Lao Tzu, and then we'll be done. Watch your thoughts. Why, Tim? Because they become your words. And watch your words. Why? They become your actions. And watch your actions because they become habits. And watch your habits because they become your character. And watch your character because it becomes your destiny. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.